Abandoned cart emails are some of the highest converting flows in e-com. But if you're sending generic messages to everyone, you're going to be leaving serious money on the table. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to add dynamic content to these emails so every customer can get personalized messaging based on exactly what they left behind. Now, the dynamic content on Klaviyo can be a little clunky and can be a little confusing. So this video is going to be walking you guys through step by step to show you exactly how we do it for our 7 and 8 figure e-com clients. Now, using this dynamic content always outperforms static emails by a country mile. So if you are sending abandoned cart emails, I highly recommend using dynamic content exactly the same way that I do in this video. So that being said, let's get started. All right, so first of all, what is dynamic content? Now, dynamic content refers to content that is specific to each user within our emails. So for example, this is an abandoned cart email, and this content over here, this block, is dynamically populated based on exactly what the user left in their cart. So by using dynamic content, we're able to build way more targeted emails because it's very specific based on every single user's specific actions. Now, the opposite of dynamic content is static content. And that's things like what you see at the top and what you see at the bottom. Like these reviews, they're static. Every person is going to see the same reviews in the email. They're going to see the same text above at the top. But this product block is going to be completely different based on what the customer left in their cart. Now, dynamic content is going to be one of the most powerful elements of your abandoned cart emails. If you don't have dynamic content, you're going to be selling yourself way too short and you're going to be missing out on a ton of sales. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how to set this up and how we use it within our abandoned cart emails. All right, so let's start with the abandoned checkout flow. So here are the exact steps, and I'm going to show you guys live how I set these up within Klaviyo. So I'm going to be referring back to this and going back and forth within Klaviyo. So let's get started. So first of all, what we're going to do on our abandoned checkout email is we're going to drag a table block into our email. So I've got Klaviyo open on a tab over here, and I'm going to drag over a table. So over here in the content, I'm going to find a table and I'm going to drag it over to where I want to place the block. The next step is we're going to go to styles and click dynamic to convert the table into a dynamic block. So I go to styles over here and I go to dynamic, and now it is a dynamic block. The next thing that I need to do is I need to paste these blocks of text for row collection and row alias. So I'm literally just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in. So I'm going to go back to my Klaviyo, paste this, and over here it should be item, and that's it. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to click content on the top, and I'm going to change the left one to an image and change the right one to text. For abandoned cart and checkout, that's usually how it looks. So the image is going to be on the left and then the text is going to be on the right. Now for the image, I also need to change this to a dynamic image. So I click select image on the left, top over here where it says dynamic image, and I need to paste a variable. So this is the variable that I paste over here. So I select this entire block of text all the way from here, and then I paste that in on my Klaviyo. I click save. And now for the text on the right, I click the text. And for the text, I pretty much want to decide what do I want to show in my abandoned cart text. The first thing that we definitely want to do is the product title. So to add the product title, you basically just need to copy this text over here, and I'm going to click, you just paste it in. Let's say paste text only. So right now it's just going to show the product name, but what we also want to do is have this as a link. So I click the link button and I need to paste this text over there, and I need to paste this text as the link. So I'm just going to copy this over and I'm going to paste it over in my Klaviyo as the link, and click apply. And now it's actually going to link. So now whatever the product is, it's going to show the product name and it's going to link them directly to that product page if they click the product name. Now, the next thing that I like to add is also the price. So if I want to add the price, I go here and I just click and I just copy this over, paste text only. And then if you want to add a quantity, you can. If you do want to add a quantity, you can just do this. So copy this one over, and here it is. And here we have it. So now we've pretty much got everything that we need. Now, what you want to obviously do is change up the font to make sure it matches your brand's font. I'm going to make this bold. I'm going to make this a little larger as well. So we have the product title, which is going to be nice and large, and then everything else a little smaller. So now what I want to do is I want to add some padding over here. So I'm going to click on the image and I'm going to scroll all the way down to cell styles. I'm going to click this individual padding and I'm going to just add a bit of padding on the right. So we've got some separation between the image and the product. Okay, so the last thing left to do now is adding links to our CTA buttons. So what I do is I click on this button over here. So I'm going to paste in this text from the instructions and I'm going to go back to Klaviyo and paste it in. So this one's done. Now I'm going to paste it in the bottom one too. And we're good to go. So So for the rest of the email, of course, design it, make it set up exactly how you want. So this is pretty much how you set up the dynamic content for the abandoned checkout flow. Now, if you want a full breakdown of how I set the flow up, exactly all the emails that we like to use, the copy, the design examples, and everything that we like to use for our entire abandoned cart and checkout strategy, I've got a full breakdown video, which I'll link right in the top right-hand corner of this video right now. Click that if you want to watch our entire abandoned cart and abandoned checkout strategy. With that being said, let's get to the dynamic content for the next email, which is the abandoned cart. So for the abandoned cart flow, what we want to do is we want to add something called a split. So this is going to be done slightly differently to how we did the abandoned checkout flow, but I'll show you exactly how to do it. So we go over here with the content, we're going to drag over a split. So I'm going to move it over here. And what we want to do is on the left, same story, add an image, and on the right, we want to add text. So that's perfect right now. And what we want to do is we want to select the image and make sure it is dynamic again. So we go here and we click dynamic image, and I'm going to paste some text, which I've got over here in my instructions. So I'm going to click this right now. So I'm going to copy this over to my Klaviyo. Cool. And that's it. Okay, so now for the text, what we want to do is we want to add the item name, and we're going to copy this text to add the item name. So I'm going to go back to Klaviyo, paste this in, and this is going to add the product name. So I'm going to click paste text only. And then same story, what we want to do is we want to make sure we add the link to the product over here. So I'm going to select this, click the link, and I'm going to paste this variable over here, which is the event URL. So I'll copy this over and paste it here in the URL section. Click apply. And now it's going to link. Now I'm going to make this text slightly larger than the rest, just so we can see it, make it bold as well. And now what we want to do is I want to also add the price. So to add the price, I go back here, just copy this over, pretty straightforward, copy this, paste it here, and we're good to go. Now, this has just made it look the same. So I'm not going to have this as bold, and I'm going to make this smaller. So I'm going to put this back to 14. Of course, make sure this looks nice and pretty. So I'm just showing you guys how to add all the variables. Make sure you do the design. I'll trust you guys to do that yourself. Now, same story over here. I want to increase the padding a little bit. So I'm going to click on this cell on the left. I'm going to go to styles, and I'm going to go to block padding, and it looks like it's got enough padding. I'm just going to increase it by just a touch. That looks good to me. And what we want to do now is we want to add a link to this image. So if someone clicks on this specific product image, we want to take them to that exact product page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my instructions, and I'm going to copy this thing called event URL. So I'll just copy it over and paste it where it says link address. So I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm just going to say product image in the alt text, and that looks good to me. Now, the last thing left is going to be this link for the CTA button. Now, what I recommend doing is linking this straight to your cart page. And to find your cart page, if you have a Shopify store, it's pretty straightforward. It's usually just like your storename.com/cart. So basically, this is an example for the hoodie. So it'd be hoodie.com/cart. So try that, make sure it works. If that doesn't work, then your only option is just doing event URL, which is going to take them to the product page. But if you can do this, then highly, highly recommend linking them straight to your cart page. So I'm just going to copy this over. Of course, brand name is not actually the link, is not actually the store name, but just to explain how it looks, you're going to add it over here where it's link address. So I've pasted it here, and that's pretty much it. Now I've got links to the product images, product name, and the CTA button as well. So yeah, that's basically it for the abandoned cart email. Of course, dress up the email, make it look nice and pretty. If you don't know what to do with the rest of this email, I've got a full breakdown that I mentioned. Watch that video and it'll walk you through our exact entire strategy for the abandoned cart and checkout. So yeah, thank you so much for making it this far. I really do appreciate your time. Now, if you're looking for someone to just do this entire thing completely done for you, then feel free to book in a call using that first link in the description below. I do this pretty much every day for my clients. We work with 7- and 8-figure ecom brands. And yeah, if you want some help, feel free to book in a call and I'll be more than happy to help out. With that being said, thank you so much again. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.